So, class, today we have talked about a little bit of communication and the importance of good communication in interviews and appropriate communication and body language when you're around certain people. So, we're going to play a little game today, and it's going to be like a guess who. So, there's going to be the person who picks a character from the hat, and they're going to act like this character, and they're going to ask you certain questions. And your response and your interaction is going to be how you try and figure out who I am. And so you guys will be able to do this as well. So I have a couple of question prompts here for you if you get stuck. But, so, Emma, are you ready?
Yes. Okay, so I'll just ask you a question to try and figure out who you are.
Well, I'll ask you a question first, and then we'll see where it goes.
Okay.
So, Emma, how has your day been today?
To be entirely honest with you, it's been an incredibly challenging day. Probably good for me because challenges help you grow depending on how you respond to them, but it's been a really rough day for me.
So what has been your greatest challenge of today, and how did you find a solution to it?
Well, one of my greatest challenges today has been the fact that I have had about 9 hours of sleep this entire week. So I am physically drained, which makes you emotionally drained as well, which makes handling challenges tricky. So my go-to, honestly, has been prayer.
That's impressive. And I guess when you're in a situation where you feel like, I guess you need to problem solve, how would you find a solution to that? How does Emma solve these problems in life?
It really just depends on the problem. Sometimes I just take a step back and gain control of myself and give myself a little pep talk after I've, gotten some feels out. And then I'll power it through, and with that prayer tacked on top, I get through things, but it's not always easy, but you get through things when you just, take a minute for you and powerhouse.
I guess, do you have any questions for me?
I'm curious, what kind of challenges do you find in your area of work?
I mean, in my profession, in my area of work, it's definitely, I have to deal with a lot of people every day, and it's kind of a challenge, just depending on the people that come in, the people that I see, because every day it's more people, new people, so just trying to keep my head up and stay positive in the situation. But is that something that you think you could maintain as well, just like a positive attitude every single day?
I believe so.
Okay. What do you think I am?
You work with people, I know that. That is honestly... She's a counselor. Are you by chance a counselor? You're a potential employer at a job interview. Oh, hello, that makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, because I felt like I was in a job interview. Okay.
Alright, so now I'm going to have you guys try it. Whoever wants to be the...
Okay. Okay. Figure out who you are.
So here's some question prompts if you think
when you
there's
did that.
okay. You don't have to follow them at all.
Okay. Hi Emma, how are you today?
Not bad, how are you?
I'm doing well. I've seen my fair share of things today. Wanted to bring you in to talk to you about something. But first I want to ask you, so what are your plans like after high school?
So after high school, I intend to go to BYU, Idaho, and I am going to do general studies until I get a flavor for a direction I'd like to take.
Okay, and how do you feel on the ladder of success? Where do you feel you fall as far as academics?
I have always done fairly well in high school. With my academics, I've actually always excelled. I give 120% of what I can, and I am always in class on time. My assignments are in on time. I do my absolute best work, and I see the results of that.
Very nice, very nice. How do you feel about public speaking?
I'm actually very confident as a public speaker. In fact, there have been many occasions that I have sought out the public speaking, which is interesting because a lot of people will avoid those situations.
How do you feel about it in front of your peers and their families?
You know what, I don't shrink away from that either. I just, as long as there's enough notice, then I'm okay with doing those sorts of things. But shorter notice makes it difficult.
Who am
I feel like you're asking me to speak as a valedictorian.
I?
Yeah! The principal talking about grading in the top 1%. Nice.